Robert woke up at 6 a.m. like he had for the past 40 years. He swung his legs over the side of the bed and tried to stand. But this morning was different. His legs buckled beneath him, and he collapsed back onto the mattress, his heart racing with fear. "This can't be happening," Robert whispered to himself. At 72, he'd always prided himself on his independence. But in that terrifying moment, he realized his legs had been quietly betraying him for months. Have you ever felt your legs give out when you tried to stand? Maybe you've noticed your legs feeling heavier when you climb stairs, or perhaps you've had to grab the railing more often than you used to. If you're over 60, these aren't just signs of normal aging. They're urgent warnings that your mobility is slipping away. My name is Dr. Michael Anderson, and I've spent 25 years watching seniors lose their independence 1 week step at a time. Today, I'm going to reveal why your legs are getting weaker faster than they should, and more importantly, the simple daily changes that can restore your strength and protect your freedom. But first, let me tell you about the silent emergency happening in your legs right now. After age 60, you lose muscle mass 3 times faster than younger adults. But here's what most seniors don't know. The loss isn't gradual and steady. It accelerates dramatically when you do 5 common things that seem completely harmless. Think of your leg muscles like a bank account. In your younger years, you could make withdrawals without much consequence because you were constantly making deposits through daily activity. But after 60, your body becomes stingy about building new muscle, while it becomes very generous about breaking down existing muscle. Every hour you sit without moving, every inflammatory meal you eat, every night you sleep in positions that cut off circulation, you're making massive withdrawals from your muscle bank account. And unlike money, once this muscle is gone, it's incredibly difficult to get back. Your legs contain the largest muscles in your body, and they're responsible for more than just walking. Strong leg muscles pump blood back to your heart, stabilize your spine, and send crucial signals to your brain about balance and position. When your legs weaken, your entire body starts to fail. But here's what terrifies me most. Circulation problems in your legs create a vicious cycle that accelerates muscle loss exponentially. Poor circulation means less oxygen and nutrients reach your muscle cells. Starved muscles begin to shrink and weaken. Weak muscles pump blood even less effectively. The cycle continues until simple activities become impossible. Dorothy discovered this the hard way. Dorothy was 74 when she started noticing her legs felt heavy during her daily walk around the neighborhood. She'd been walking the same route for 10 years, but suddenly she needed to stop and rest halfway through. "I thought I was just having an off day," Dorothy told me. But the heavy feeling persisted for weeks, then months. Soon, Dorothy was avoiding her walks altogether. Shopping trips became exhausting ordeals. Even walking from her car to the front door left her breathless. What Dorothy didn't realize is that her legs were sending her desperate signals. The heaviness wasn't fatigue. It was her muscles crying out for oxygen that poor circulation couldn't deliver. Here's what was happening in Dorothy's legs. Years of sitting for long periods had weakened the muscle pumps in her calves that push blood back to her heart. Without strong muscle contractions, blood was pooling in her lower legs, starving her muscle cells of oxygen. But the real tragedy is that Dorothy interpreted these warning signs as reasons to become less active, not more active. Every day she avoided walking made her circulation worse, which made her muscles weaker, which made walking feel harder. By the time Dorothy came to see me, she'd lost 40% of her leg strength in just 8 months. But here's the remarkable part. Within 6 weeks of following the plan I'm going to share with you today, Dorothy was not only back to her daily walks, she was walking farther than she had in years. Let me show you the 5 hidden habits that destroyed Dorothy's legs and what you can do to avoid her fate. Hidden leg destroyer number 5, sitting in the same position for more than 1 hour. Frank retired at 68 and developed what he called his perfect daily routine. Morning coffee and newspaper in his recliner for 2 hours, lunch, then back to the same chair for afternoon television until dinner. By evening, Frank's legs felt stiff and weak. I deserve to relax after 40 years of work, Frank reasoned. But what Frank didn't understand is that his legs need movement to stay strong, regardless of his age or retirement status. Here's what happens when you sit motionless for more than an hour. Your calf muscles, which act as powerful pumps for your circulation, completely shut down. Blood flow to your legs decreases by up to 90%. Without adequate blood flow, your muscle cells begin to break down their own protein for energy. But the damage goes deeper than just muscle loss. Prolonged sitting also allows calcium to leach out of your bones, particularly in your legs and hips. This makes you more prone to fractures if you fall, which becomes more likely as your leg muscles weaken. Frank was unknowingly creating the perfect storm for rapid leg deterioration. Every day he sat for hours, his muscles became weaker, his bones became more fragile, and his balance became less stable. The solution was simpler than Frank expected. I taught him the 60-60 rule. Never sit for more than 60 minutes without standing for 60 seconds. Frank set a timer on his phone and committed to standing up, doing a few calf raises, and sitting back down every hour. Within 2 weeks, Frank noticed his legs felt lighter when he stood up. Within a month, he was taking evening walks with his wife for the first time in months. The simple act of moving every hour had reactivated his circulation and began rebuilding his muscle strength. Hidden leg destroyer number 4, eating foods that increase inflammation in your muscles. Margaret was doing everything right for her legs, or so she thought. She was walking daily, doing gentle stretches, and staying active. But her legs continued to weaken, and she couldn't understand why. When I reviewed Margaret's diet, I found the hidden saboteur. Margaret was eating foods that created chronic inflammation throughout her body, including in her leg muscles. This inflammation was breaking down muscle tissue faster than her exercise could build it up. Margaret's typical day included orange juice and toast for breakfast, a sandwich and chips for lunch, and pasta or rice with dinner. She snacked on crackers, cookies, and dried fruit throughout the day. Every single one of these foods was triggering inflammatory responses in her muscles. Here's what chronic inflammation does to your legs. It sends signals to your body to break down muscle protein and use it for energy. It's like having a slow leak in your gas tank. No matter how much good fuel you put in, it keeps draining out through the inflammation leak. But here's what shocked me about Margaret's case. Within 3 weeks of eliminating inflammatory foods and adding anti-inflammatory options, her leg strength began improving dramatically. The chronic muscle breakdown stopped, and her body could finally build new muscle tissue. Margaret replaced her inflammatory breakfast with eggs and spinach. She swapped processed snacks for nuts and berries. She included fatty fish, like salmon, twice a week for their powerful anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. The transformation was remarkable. Margaret's legs felt stronger, her balance improved, and her daily walks became enjoyable again instead of exhausting struggles. Hidden leg destroyer number 3, sleeping positions that cut off circulation for 8 hours every night. Helen was 76 when she started waking up with legs that felt dead every morning. It took several minutes of moving around before she could walk normally. Helen assumed this was just part of getting older, but she was wrong. Helen's sleeping position was slowly strangling the circulation in her legs every single night. She slept on her side with one leg crossed over the other, compressing major blood vessels for 6 to 8 hours at a time. Here's what happens when you compress leg circulation during sleep. Your muscle cells are deprived of oxygen and nutrients during the very time they're supposed to be repairing and rebuilding. Instead of waking up refreshed and strong, you wake up with muscles that have been suffocating all night. But the damage extends beyond just one night. Repeated circulation problems during sleep create chronic inflammation in your leg muscles. This inflammation accelerates muscle breakdown and makes it nearly impossible to build new muscle, no matter how much you exercise during the day. I taught Helen to sleep with a pillow between her knees to maintain proper alignment and avoid compressing blood vessels. I also showed her how to elevate her legs slightly to improve circulation back to her heart. The change was immediate. Helen's morning leg stiffness disappeared within 3 days. Within 2 weeks, she had more energy throughout the day because her muscles were finally getting the overnight recovery they needed. Hidden leg destroyer number 2, dehydration that turns your blood into thick sludge. James was 71 and had developed what he thought was a smart strategy for avoiding bathroom trips. He limited his fluid intake, especially in the evening, so he wouldn't have to get up during the night. What James didn't realize is that his dehydration strategy was slowly destroying his leg circulation and accelerating muscle loss. Here's what happens when you're chronically dehydrated. Your blood becomes thicker and more difficult to pump. Your heart has to work harder, your circulation slows down, and your leg muscles receive less oxygen and nutrients with each heartbeat. Dehydrated blood is also more likely to form clots, which can completely block circulation to parts of your legs. Even mild dehydration increases your risk of dangerous blood clots by 300%. But here's what shocked me most about James's case. He was losing muscle mass, not just from poor circulation, but because his body was breaking down muscle tissue to extract water. When you're dehydrated, your body will sacrifice muscle to maintain blood volume and keep vital organs functioning. James was unknowingly trading his leg strength for fewer bathroom trips. When we corrected his hydration and taught him to drink water throughout the day instead of limiting intake, his leg strength began improving within days. Now, the #1 hidden leg destroyer that's stealing mobility from millions of seniors. Hidden leg destroyer number 1, ignoring the brain-leg connection that controls balance and prevents falls. This is the most dangerous mistake because it leads to falls, which are the #1 cause of serious injury and loss of independence in seniors. Patricia was 79 when she started feeling unsteady on her feet. She'd reach for walls or furniture when walking, even though her legs felt strong enough. Patricia's family attributed this to normal aging, but Patricia was experiencing something much more serious. The connection between Patricia's brain and her leg muscles was breaking down. This communication system, called proprioception, tells your brain where your legs are in space and how much force to use for each step. Here's what happens when the brain-leg connection weakens. Your brain loses track of where your feet are positioned. You start misjudging distances and heights. Your reaction time slows when you start to stumble. Eventually, a minor trip becomes a major fall because your legs can't respond quickly enough to save you. But here's what's remarkable about the brain-leg connection. It can be strengthened and restored through specific exercises that most seniors never learn about. I taught Patricia simple balance challenges that forced her brain to re-establish communication with her leg muscles. Standing on one foot for 10 seconds, walking heel to toe in a straight line, and practicing getting up from a chair without using her hands. Within 1 month, Patricia's unsteadiness disappeared completely. Her confidence returned, and she resumed activities she'd been avoiding due to fall fears. The brain-leg connection exercises had literally rewired her nervous system for better balance and coordination. Now, let me share the 5 powerful solutions that can restore your leg strength and protect your mobility for decades to come. Solution number 1. The circulation activation routine that takes just 5 minutes daily. Every morning before you get out of bed, do this simple sequence. Pull your toes toward your shins 10 times. Point your toes away from your body 10 times. Then make circles with your ankles in both directions. This activates your calf muscle pumps and gets blood flowing before you put weight on your legs. Next, sit on the edge of your bed and do 10 slow calf raises, lifting your heels as high as possible and lowering them slowly. This pumps blood from your legs back to your heart and begins strengthening your lower leg muscles. Finally, stand up slowly and march in place for 30 seconds, lifting your knees as high as comfortable. This final step prepares your entire leg muscle system for the day ahead. Dorothy started doing this routine after her leg weakness scare. She told me it was like turning on the power to her legs every morning. Within 2 weeks, her morning leg stiffness was completely gone. Solution number 2. The muscle-saving nutrition plan that stops leg weakness at its source. Replace inflammatory foods with muscle-building options. Start your day with eggs instead of cereal or toast. Eggs provide complete proteins that your muscles need for repair and growth. Include a source of lean protein at every meal: fish, chicken, lean beef, or Greek yogurt. Add anti-inflammatory foods that protect your muscles from breakdown. Tart cherries reduce muscle inflammation by 50%. Leafy greens like spinach provide nitrates that improve circulation. Fatty fish like salmon provide omega-3 fatty acids that prevent muscle loss. But here's the key. Eliminate the foods that trigger muscle breakdown. Refined sugars, processed snacks, and white flour products all create inflammation that destroys muscle tissue faster than exercise can build it. Margaret followed this nutrition plan and saw her leg strength improve by 30% in just 6 weeks. I never realized that what I was eating was making my legs weak, she told me. Solution number 3. The proper hydration strategy that keeps your blood flowing smoothly. Drink 1 glass of water immediately upon waking to replace fluids lost during sleep. Then drink small amounts throughout the day rather than large amounts all at once. Your goal is pale yellow urine at least 4 times per day. Here's the key for seniors worried about bathroom trips. Drink more fluids earlier in the day and reduce intake after 6 p.m. This maintains hydration without disrupting sleep. Add electrolytes naturally with a pinch of sea salt in your water or by eating potassium-rich foods like bananas and avocados. Proper electrolyte balance is crucial for muscle function and circulation. James implemented this hydration strategy and noticed improved leg strength within 1 week. His blood tests showed better circulation markers and his energy levels increased significantly. Solution number 4. The evening routine that protects your legs while you sleep. Before bed, do 5 minutes of gentle leg stretches to prevent overnight stiffness. Sit on the edge of your bed and gently pull each knee toward your chest for 30 seconds. This stretches your hip flexors, which tighten during the day and can affect your walking gait. Sleep with a pillow between your knees if you sleep on your side, or under your knees if you sleep on your back. This maintains proper spinal alignment and prevents circulation problems in your legs. If possible, elevate your legs slightly with a pillow under your mattress at the foot of the bed. This uses gravity to help blood flow back to your heart during sleep. Helen started this evening routine and eliminated her morning leg stiffness completely. I wake up feeling like my legs are ready to go instead of needing several minutes to warm up, she reported. Solution number 5. The brain-leg connection exercises that prevent falls and restore confidence. Practice standing on one foot for 10 seconds while holding on to a sturdy chair or countertop. Work up to doing this without support as your balance improves. This exercise forces your brain to constantly communicate with your leg muscles to maintain stability. Walk heel to toe in a straight line for 10 steps, like walking on a tightrope. This challenges your brain's ability to coordinate precise leg movements and improves your walking stability. Practice the chair stand exercise. Sit in a chair and stand up without using your hands. Then sit back down slowly. Work up to doing this 10 times in a row. This builds the exact muscle strength and brain-leg coordination you need to prevent falls. Patricia credits these exercises with giving her confidence to stay active well into her 80s. "I'm not afraid of falling anymore because I know my legs will catch me," she says. Here's what I want you to understand. Leg weakness isn't inevitable with aging. The seniors who maintain strong legs and mobility into their 80s and 90s aren't lucky. They're making daily choices that protect and strengthen their legs. Every glass of water you drink, every hour you stand up and move, every anti-inflammatory food you choose is an investment in your future mobility and independence. Your legs have carried you through decades of life. Now it's time to carry them through the decades ahead. The choices you make today will determine whether you're walking independently at 80, 90, and beyond. Here's my challenge to you. Pick one of the 5 solutions I've shared today and commit to doing it for just 7 days. Set a timer to stand up every hour. Do the morning circulation routine, eliminate one inflammatory food, improve your hydration, or practice one balance exercise. After 7 days, pay attention to how your legs feel. Do they feel lighter when you stand up? Do you have more energy for walking? Is your balance more confident? I'm willing to bet you'll notice a difference that motivates you to continue. Have you felt your legs getting weaker in the morning? Do they feel heavy when you climb stairs? Have you noticed yourself holding on to railings more often? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be the encouragement another senior needs to take action. If you want to stay independent and protect your mobility for decades to come, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Your future self will thank you for every small step you take today to strengthen your legs and preserve your freedom. Remember, strong legs aren't just about walking. They're about independence, confidence, and the ability to live life on your own terms. Don't let weak legs steal your golden years. Take action today and keep walking strong for decades to come.